So there's one major drawback to the standard ketogenic diet, and it's something that we all face. But the cool thing is it's entirely fixable, and it's very, very easy to fix. I'm going to explain in this video. All we have to do is understand some basic physiology. You see, when we're consuming a lot of fats, we're consuming fats from meats, we're consuming fats from dairy, we're consuming fats from all kinds of oils, we're generally not getting the highest quality fats. And I totally understand, because it's not always realistic to spend copious amounts of money on those things. But what ends up happening is we end up having a lot of what are called omega-6s in the body. We have omega-6 fats and we have omega-3 fats. And you've probably heard that omega-3s are good. But the hard part is, on a ketogenic diet, it's very hard to get a lot of omega-3s because most of the meats we're consuming are grain-fed. And the grain-fed meats are consuming soy, and they're consuming grains that already have high omega-6s. So therefore, because we are what we ate, our omega-6 levels go up in the body. And then we do the same thing with GMO, low-quality oils. We do the same thing with dairy. And you can imagine with keto, since we're eating so many fats, we're putting a lot of these omega-6s in. And what happens in the body is the body preferentially uses whatever there is more of in the body. So that means if you have more omega-6 than you do omega-3, the body will use the omega-6s. But why is that so bad? Well, mainly because omega-6s are one of the leading causes of inflammation in the body. But omega-6s also make it so that your insulin sensitivity isn't as high. What does that mean? In fact, even a recent study that was published in a major journal called Marine Drugs found that if omega-3 levels were higher, we could burn fat faster in ketosis. You see, omega-6s ultimately stand in the way of our insulin levels getting low enough to ever truly burn a lot of fat. So even though you can have a lot of success on a ketogenic diet, you have more success if your omega-3 levels are balanced. The hard part is you can't expect to go around eating salmon all the time because it's just not realistic. But we do need to get those omega-3 and omega-6 levels in balance. In fact, it's recommended that we're at a 1-to-1 ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. You know what most standard Americans are right now? 20-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3. And that's not even on a ketogenic diet. I would argue that on a ketogenic diet, it's probably closer to 30-to-1. So we have a lot of work to do with the right omega-3s to make sure that our body is burning fat effectively, but also not having high amounts of inflammation. So I'm super excited to announce that we are coming out with a product that fixes this issue, and it's called Keto Balance. So PuraTHRIVE is releasing a product that combines the perfect amounts of fats along with docosahexaenoic acid, one of the most powerful omega-3s available, so that you can get your body in balance without having to eat a ridiculous amount of seafood all the time. In fact, it's going to come in a delicious chocolate flavor that you can add to almond milk or add to water and have a nice, tasty drink. This wouldn't be a typical Thomas DeLauer or PuraTHRIVE video if I didn't reference the study though. Okay, the study that I mentioned earlier was published in a journal called Marine Drugs, and it took a look at those that were on the ketogenic diet for a 4-week period, not even long. And they found that most of the time when you're on a ketogenic diet, your omega-6 levels were higher. So those that supplemented with high quality omega-3s ended up not only burning more fat, but they had lower levels of insulin, they had lower triglycerides, but best of all, they had massively lower amounts of inflammation and massively reduced nuclear factor kappa B activity in the body. That means their body was able to fight illness and be able to overall recover a lot better. Less inflammation can potentially lead to more fat loss. So we have a double whammy here when it comes down to accelerating the effects of keto and making sure that you feel good the entire time on a ketogenic diet. So please make sure that you're paying attention for the official launch of Keto Balance. I promise I'll keep you posted, and I'm happy to announce that we're finally getting into the keto space. I'll see you soon.